Everyone. So let's start our Wednesday class. Uh, let's talk about one of the mudras first. Then we'll continue with our last week's topic. So today's mudra is Nabho mudra. Nabh means sky. So Nabho, Nabho, Nabho mudra. And according to Garand Samhita, the Rishi says, Yatra yatro sthito yogi sarv karyeshu sarvada उधर्व जिह्वा स्थिरो भूत्वः धारयेत पवनम सदा नभो मुद्रा भवेदेशः योगी नाम रोग नाशने. Wherever one is, yatra yatra sthito. So that means no matter what you are doing, wherever you are, wherever one is, and during all activities, sarv karyeshu sarvada. So wherever one is and during all activities, a yogi should keep the tongue turned upward. So that means this tongue should be stuck up on the palate all the time. Keep on doing what you're doing, keep your tongue up. Mouth closed, nobody really knows what you're doing. Nabho mudra destroys all the disorders of a yogi. So in this verse, he doesn't say it, but I heard it from my own Guruji's mouth that there is a secretion from our head through the upper part of our mouth, and the tongue absorbs it. So because of that absorption of the secretion, you increase your immune system. So instead of just hanging your tongue down, because most of the time you will see that your tongue is down, lift it up. It will take some practice, but it's extremely beneficial. I see two benefits. One, of course, that physical ailments. Another one is you'll talk less. That's why I said it will help the other people around you. Right? Because sometimes unnecessary we talk too much. Keep your tongue up. Okay. And when you bring our tongue up, automatically our attention goes inward too. Instead of just constantly looking around, you'll move your attention inward. So over here in this book, they say Nabho mudra is a simple form of Khechari mudra. Khechari mudra is little difficult. That takes art of effort. So this is a simpler form. And while doing this, your mind becomes calm. Physical condition of the body improves. And you can even practice it while doing your Hatha yoga too. You're doing your asanas, keep your tongue up. So there is nothing much about it. That's all. It's a very simple mudra. Practice it and then let me know how you feel. So it's not only while sitting, while practicing our Hatha yoga, it's all day long you can do it. While studying also, while doing your meditation also. Just keep your tongue up. Okay? Any question?
Yes, Hershey.
Mm-hmm.
Is the whole tongue the flattened tongue or the tip?
The whole tongue. As much you can bring it up. You can try with the tip, but don't bend the tongue. Don't like a curve it. Just try to stick it as much as you can.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So next topic is the symbolism in Hinduism. We all know that conceptual thinking is hard to a lot of people. So that means to contemplate upon the formless is very difficult. So that's why a majority of the people need a grosser expression of the infinite. And this grosser expression of the infinite is the symbol or the idol. That's why last time I told you idol represents an ideal. Remember that? So the religious symbols, idols, they really have a deeper depth for us to discover. And it's over and above their mere external shape. Sometimes it could be a arrangement of the things. There's a meaning behind the arrangement of the things too. Why those lines are drawn certain way. There's a meaning behind it. So we need to know the deeper implication of that. The symbols or the idols, they don't speak. So they say there's a voiceless beauty and joy contained in the symbols. And that's why they are called mystic symbols. And that's why there's an art to interpret those symbols. So simply put, symbolism is employed to simplify human effort to expose the ultimate truth and underlying principles. So this is almost like a device. So symbol is or idol is a device so that we can really explore the truth, explore the infinite. So symbolism is the safest and surest and at the same time the most effective way of propagating the truth. So that's why in any temple when we see Lord Ganesh's symbolic form or when we see Om, when we see swastika, right? We all know what is the truth behind it is too. But sometimes we may not know the deeper meaning, but we definitely know there is something godly about it, something divine about it. Or even a bell in the temple, or even the Aarti plate, the diya, all of that we know it represents something which is beyond words. So meaning of the symbols derived simply as aids to imagination. And the meanings of these symbols, definitely they differ according to the standpoint adopted. But we will study, as we do always from this ashram, because this is a yoga sadhana ashram. So we study these symbols also with a yogic point. And what is a yogic point? How this symbol is going to purify us, how this symbol is going to bring unity among us and unity with the highest. That's a yogic point. So today I'm going to start with swastika. You are all familiar with the swastika symbol. Diwali time also, some people do the rangoli in a swastika symbol. Some people just put a picture of it on the walls or in their temples. Swastika. This is a Sanskrit word. Su and asti. Those are the the root words. Su means good. See, like a sukh. Su means good. And asti means exist. So swastika, that's why it's a symbol of goodness. It's a symbol of prosperity, symbol of auspiciousness. Swastika. If you're not familiar with it, Jyoti is going to put it on the screen for all of us. And I'll talk about it.
Hershey, I just
Yes.
wanted to say for the people who want to see the symbolism picture, the one that I'm putting up, you have to put a pin video on my
Yeah, on the screen where it says Jyoti, so pin it, okay?
Yeah, if you pin me, then you'll be able to see.
Yeah.
How Hershey talks.
Yeah. Then I'll just briefly go over this swastika symbol.
Jyoti, how do you pin?
If you go over my name, there are 3 little dots on the top.
By your name?
3 little dots, it'll say.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Press it and it says pin, so okay. All right. So even if you cannot pin, just listen to me, and I'm sure most of you already know the symbol.
Yeah.
So there's a dot in the middle of that swastika symbol. Dot represents Brahma, ultimate truth, one. And then outside of that, there are 4 lines. They represent Dharam, Arth, Kam, and Moksha. Those are the 4 goals of life. With the help of this Dharma, and Kam, and Moksha, we have been given Antakaran also. There is a Man, Buddhi, Chaitanya, Ahankar. The 4 little lines on the sides. And if we have employed this in our life properly, what do we gain? We can have a samanya moksha. That's like an ordinary moksha, little freedom. Mind in my control. By living a life of a dharma, I can have a samanya moksha, little freedom even while living on this earth. Then comes a videha moksha. If I control my buddhi also, my intellect, the higher power is also in me, in my control. I understand it's not me, but it's a upadhi of me, and I need to purify it and control it. With the practice, you can have a videha moksha, freedom over this body also. Then higher than that is Jivan Mukta. So Chit is also cleansed. Chit is the deeper layers of our mind. So you have done so much sadhana that you have even evolved further. Jivan Mukta, you are in a body but still extremely free of all these entanglements. Then if you further evolve, there is a supreme moksha, which is also called Brahm Nirvana. Your ego is also dissolved. That little I has taken the form of big I. Little I dissolved completely. And then there are 4 dots you see between all of these 4 lines. These are the qualities we need to cultivate in order to do the sadhana. Prem, love. Shraddha, faith. Vishwas, trust. And samarpan, surrender. So these are the basic qualities. They are represented in those 4 dots. So Brahm is 1. 4 goals in life. Ultimate goal is moksha. with the help of these antakaran and these qualities. And it's not just from here all the way up right away. It's a definite evolution step by step. So this is a swastika. It's not just drawing it. It's living a life with this sadhana, which is represented in this symbol. Okay. So let's move on. We have other symbols also to cover. There is a symbol of prayer plate. We all have that Aarti Thali, we call. Aarti Thali, what do we have in it? A diya and fragrance. This plate, the thali, is a representation of our body. Diya is a representation of our intellect. And incense is a representation of our mind. So what do we do? We just move that plate clockwise around God. It's not that God we are glorifying. We are making a promise to God that God, you have given me this body, you have given me this intellect, you have given me this mind. I will use it to serve you. That's what it really means. It's a promise we are making. God doesn't need the light. We are just making a promise to God. We normally call this a puja. When we do the prayers, it's called a puja. Puja word is also made up of two words. Pa means pap nashna. The root word pa, pap nashna, that stands for purification and redemption for all the sins, all the obstacles, all the flaws. That's a pap nashna. And the ja means janam vijetaha. So that means I need to get out of this life and death cycle. This keep on coming back and forth. We are making a promise to God. I will live a life so that I cut all these bondages. That's what puja means. Puja is not begging. Puja is a promise to God. God, I will live a life like that. Please help me. Please show me the way. That's what puja is. So Janam Vijeta and Pap Nashna. So our mental attitude has to be correct when we do the puja. Another little symbol we talked about last time, bell. Ringing the bell produces an auspicious sound. It symbolizes the peace and freedom. Okay, so when we ring it, when we go to the temple, that means it just gives us a feeling, uplifted feeling. I need to move towards the ultimate freedom, which we looked at in the swastika sign also. Then we have a conch also in our temples. Conch is said to symbolize the mystic symbol Om. When we blow into the conch, it's like a pranav, the mystic sound of Om comes out. Lord Vishnu holds it in one of his hands, symbolizing the Nad. Nad Brahm is called. God in the form of sound. Conches were used as bugles also in war. Lord Krishna's conch, he had a name for it, Panchjanya. Arjun's, Devdat. Nakul's, Sughosh, they all had those conches. But basically that means it's a sound, mystic sound of Om comes out of it. Then there is a Rudraksh, devotees of Lord Shiva, who are called Shaivites. They wear a Rudraksh mala. Rudra Aksh. Aksh means the eye. Rudra is Lord Shiva. So the beads are the seeds of Rudraksh tree which are found in Himalayas. And why do they wear it? It's not to decorate them. It is to use for the chanting. Okay, Rudraksh. So seeds could be any color. See, just like we see the apples. Apples have many colors. So these Rudraksh seeds also have many colors. They could be red, white, golden, or very dark. Doesn't matter. Idea is that remembering Lord Shiva and a person is chanting. That's all. Rudraksh. Okay. Symbolism of offering the coconut. Coconut represents the karam phal, or the fruits of a person's past actions. And what is the fruit of our past actions? They are in the form of vasanas. So offering of a fruit in a temple or to a guru symbolizes the surrendering of such vasanas. So I just offer it to you. That means I am detaching from it. But internally there has to be a detachment. It's not just giving the fruit alone. Coconut has a very nice, smooth skin covering. You all know that, the whole coconut. But if you take the skin
Open
out,
up both the doors and taking it
it's a
inside.
mass of twisted and knitted coir within. And beneath the coir, if you move all those the layers of the hair out, what is inside there? A hard shell. Hard shell. And that's how we buy it in the store these days over here. Hard shell. And the inner portion of the shell is a white kernel. And that kernel contains the milk inside. And there's a symbolic message in all of these. So this soft skin, that means our body. So traditionally they offered the whole coconut like this. And what is it done? You just remove the skin out. The guru does it, or the priest does it, and removes all the entangled hair out too. But they leave a little tuft of hair on the top of those three eyes. Then at the end, guru removes that also. It's just like a third eye is seen. So when does that happen? Guru has given enough knowledge of wisdom. Then after that, what does Guru do? Breaks it. Breaks the hard shell also. And then milk inside, that coconut milk or coconut water, is poured at the feet of God. So this symbolism is the outer skin represents the gross body, the smooth skin, which has an external show of beauty. Then the cluster of desires with all those net in there, attachments, that is our subtle body. We need to remove that also. A yoga abhyasi has to renounce all his desires except one desire. That is the tuft on the top. One desire. That is to realize the truth, to know God. So the retention of the tuft symbolizes that. And Guru breaks the hard shell. That really means with the help of the knowledge, all the vasanas have been removed. The ego has been shattered. And then The last lingering desire to realize the truth is also transcended. That is gone too, because there's a oneness. Because when the third eye has been exposed, the eye of wisdom or the Gyan Chakshu, that gives the intuitive vision. So the milk flowing at the feet of the Lord represents the merging of the individual's self with the infinite self. So one coconut, the whole sadhana is represented in there. Guru's part in there, our part in there, our detachment from it, all of it. It's not just a physical coconut we are taking. There's a whole big message in there. Then now let's talk about Vibhuti. Vibhuti is what? Vibhuti means powers also, but over here, Vibhuti means the sacred ash. A lot of people, even at the ashram, when you come, what do you do after the havan? You take that Vibhuti and put it over here or over here. But there are some saintly people, they'll just smear the Vibhuti all over their body. There's a symbolic message behind that Vibhuti also. Because Vibhuti is again, it's like a roop, a roop. It was a roop before it became a roop. So with and without form. Sure, first it was a form. It was whether it was a samagri or whether it was a ghee or whether it was the dry wood. It was all with the roop. Then it became a roop without any form. And then you just put it over here or over here. It's a remembrance that this roop of the body or even roop of the mind and the intellect, one day it will be a roop, formless. So Vibhuti is one of the most sacred means of roop worship. And we always associate this Vibhuti with the Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva. What is he teaching us? Vairagya. Vairagya from the form, dispassion, or destruction of all the limitations. Destruction of the illusion, the Maya. So it is a very profound symbolism of reminding our that transient part of this journey. Very transient, which we think it's permanent with our elusive mind, but actually it's very transient. So it's a reminder to us. It's like a last stage. And we all know as Hindus, what will happen in the last stage to this body? It will become ashes. So Vibhuti indicates Kal. That means time. And it reminds us to make efforts to reach Kalatit. Kalatit. That means that which is beyond time. It's a reminder to us. Okay? Reach for that which is beyond the limitations of the time. So turning our minds to the right direction, it's not just smearing our body with ashes, but taking our mind beyond time. That time which is unchangeable amidst the changes. Okay, something in the changes is changeless. So reminder to us, we are that changeless. It's almost like a fire is inherent in all the objects, but it becomes visible only when the object is consumed of the fire. So it's a reminder to us. So formlessness manifested in the form. So wearing of vibhuti, next time you apply it on you, whether at the havan or from the incense also, in the plate of that arti plate, incense ultimately become ashes. And a lot of people, they just take it and put it on their forehead or over here. But remind yourself at that time, take your mind towards the Atma, which is beyond time. So vibhuti also means, there's another meaning of vibhuti, that means wealth. Wealth. So a yoga student is not concerned about the physical wealth. Yoga student doesn't want that, no, God give me wealth. This wealth has no meaning. Yoga Bhyasi says, I want a spiritual wealth. And the very color of vibhuti is white. And that also signifies quite a bit. It points out to nothing less than the Paramatma, the Supreme Self. White. No color. Because colors are always associated with Rajsikta and Tamsikta, darkness and activity. So the sacred ash reminds us the Paramatma. Whiteness is the ultimate state. So the wearing of the vibhuti emphasizes the reality of the self and the unreality of the world and its objects. Okay, so far we talked about Shank, the bell, and the swastika, vibhuti, coconut. There is another symbol which you see in the temples or maybe in your homes also, Shiv Ling. Lot of misconceptions about that. Shiv Ling. Ling in the Sanskrit means a symbol. Nothing more than that, a symbol. So Shiv Ling is a symbol of Shiva. And Shiva in this context refers to the infinite reality. It's not just a power of Shiva, but Shiva as ultimate, Brahm. The rishis who worshipped God, they were near the Narbada river. Narbada river had lot of marble stones. Marble stones. They talked about it. They said, how can we symbolize God? They said, God can be just like this, a stone, a round stone. And that's where the symbol of Shiva came. Okay, so whatever was there. So normally whatever we have, we try to see God in it. So the supreme reality as a round stone, because when you cut it also, those marble stones, the cross section of it is round. Round means infinite. No beginning and no end. That's where this symbol came about. The circle as a supreme reality. A circle does not have any beginning or any end. Okay, so there was no birth of God. So just remember, Shivling really means a symbol, a representation of the infinite as a round. Another symbol which is associated with the Shiva is Nataraj. Nataraj. I'm sure you all have seen Nataraj. I'm sure in your homes also. Either there's a picture of it or there's a statue of it. Nataraj. What does it mean? Lord of the stage, Nataraj. That means world is a stage. And who is the king of it? God. It's his stage. Vision of life, activity through the power of the all-pervading Atma or God. What do you see in Nataraj? There's a lot of symbols in that big picture. You see a little drum in one hand, right? There's a drum, one hand. Drum really means, that means a sound. Shabad Nishtam Jagat. That means God or Guru holds the cause of all the world. Cause, Shabd. Of all the 5 elements, space is the subtlest. And space is associated with the word, the sound. So he says, it's in my hand. I hold it. I can create it, uncreate it, manifest it, unmanifest it. That's what Damru is. If you ever held a Damru, you go like this, right? Just with a movement, little movement, the whole thing is gone. So all the world is in his hand to fold or unfold at his own will. He doesn't have any power over him. He is the highest. So to a jnani or to a wise person, the world exists only if God chooses, not otherwise. It's his Leela, his stage. He is the owner of, he is the Raj of this stage. And then we see near that Natraj, right next to, little far away, is a deer. It's a small deer. Deer represents the mind. Because mind hops, it leaps, jumps from one thing to the other. So for God, mind cannot control him. We are controlled by the mind, but God is not. He is the master of this. So Atma is far beyond the reach of the deer like mind. So deer in the picture is placed near the legs, okay, at a low place and far away. Nataraj wears the skin of a tiger, which he himself slew. That means ahankar, skin of the egoism. So our egoism, our ahankar, we need to get rid of as a yoga bhyasi. Okay. Then we see the Ganges on the top of the head also. So I told you, a lot of symbols in one big picture. Ganges means our wisdom, the knowledge. And Ganges represents the coolness, very refreshing. And then there's a moon also, which represents the ethereal light, blissfulness of the Atma from that moon. And you will see another thing if you pay close attention. 1 foot of the Nataraj is planted over and crushes a giant Rakshas. And the name of that Rakshas is Maya Laka. So that's like a Mahamaya. Illusion, which is the cause of the life and death. And the other foot is raised up. So one is down, crushing that Maya. The other one is up. Other foot up really means symbolism of Turiya Avastha. Turiya is Samadhi. Remember the 3 lower consciousness stages of the consciousness, right? It's like a Jagrat, Swapan, Sushupti. And the 4th one is Turiya. So the other foot is up. There's one hand Like this, Abhedan. Abhedan means it's like to the yoga abhyasis, he is giving the protection, abhay, protection, peace, blessedness, the calmness with that hand. It's like a grace. See, gurus also, they always grace us like this. You'll always see often the gurus, their hands are represented like this, that we are under the protection of a guru. So that's what Lord Shiva is doing. Whoever is in my protection, I'll give the Abhedan. And the other hand, he has uplifted with Agni, fire. That means the Guru brings in the Jyotis of Atma itself. It's like a truth of his teachings, the light. So in other words, the truth has to be realized. It has to be experienced. There has to be an anubhav of it. That's why the Jyoti is a scene in the hand of a Guru. And the place of this dance is in the one forest. This forest is the account of the multitude of the components. It's like a cremation ground also. There are a lot of lights around it, fires also. It's just like this is what this whole stage is like a one. So the mind like deer should be left behind. Ego should be destroyed. We need to, with the help of the knowledge, ascend ourselves, become free from the passion, free from deception, enjoy the calmness, and this is our birthright. So that's why this Nataraj is not just to decorate our living rooms and the family rooms or our foyers. Nataraj is a symbol of the highest teaching. It is an object that can inspire and elevate. So whenever we look at Nataraj, we should see, am I the master of the lower tendencies? Am I the master of my mind? Am I staying calm in spite of all the fluctuations around me? Am I bringing more and more truth in my life? Am I doing what it needs to be done to achieve that Turiya Avastha? So this is what Nataraj teaches us. 11:15 already, 11:16. So I think I'll give you a chance to ask questions, because I know there are a lot more other symbols, maybe in your mind also. If you can think of something, again, next week we can talk, we can continue, but if you don't, then that's okay too. So then we'll talk about some other message.
So
Okay.
Rita has a question.
Who does it?
Rita?
Rita, okay, Rita.
Anji, Harsh, can you say one more time, explain Rudraksh?
Rudraksh, Rudra and Aksh.
Uh-huh.
Rudra means Lord Shiva. Aksh means the eye. That's a Rudraksh. So in the slopes of Himalayas, where these Shiv Bhagats were, they saw these trees, they saw the beads. So they said, okay, I'm going to use these beads to remember Lord Shiva. I see the eye of Lord Shiva in these beads. So they started using these beads to chant Shiva's name.
And you said कि कोई भी color की हो सकती हैं ये, but
there are many different colors, yes. Because sometimes we think that no, if it's only this color, then it's most auspicious. That is a delusional mind. Color has nothing to do
with
with the
the,
power of the mantra.
yeah, then they say if there's only one I on that, that is
That is all BS.
okay. Okay, good, good. At least we
No,
got.
that's all. Anything which makes our mind weak,
Mhm.
as a yoga students, we should throw it out.
Yes.
So this was only something, some kind of an object which they found over there to say the name of God. That's it.
Okay.
Nothing
Good.
more than that.
Nothing more than that. Okay, thank
It's
you.
not that more expensive the bead, Lord Shiva will be happy with us. Lord Shiva will be happy if our ego has been slewed. If we have control over our mind, if we help others, if we stay calm, if we are peaceful, then Lord Shiva is automatically happy with us. Okay.
Thank you.
So no, because I think there's a lot of Maya. See, what did Lord Shiva do?
Hmm.
1 foot on the Maya. Press the Maya down. Do not let the Maya get to your head. Right? So yeah, there's no, and ultimately you may not even need this. Okay. कर की माला छोड़कर मन की माला जप. That is the highest. That's it. Kar ki mala means with the hand. Sure, initially children need it, but ultimately we don't. Okay. Yes, Jyoti.
Jyotika has a question.
Yes, Jyoti.
Yeah, thank you. It was a really good explanation of Nataraj Harshji. But I have one question. I have Nataraj statue right in front of me. I don't see a deer. You were explaining that deer is near. Where is
Yeah,
actually?
normally there is a, if you look at the bigger picture, maybe in this Natrai they did not put it. There's
Okay.
a deer standing near the legs, little away, because it's a one, scene of a one. In the one, there will be a deer also.
Oh, okay. All
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Yeah.
Pramila? Pramila? You have a question?
Yes. Harshi, you were talking about the Aarti Thali. Could you explain a little bit more about the Aarti Thali?
Okay, there's only 3 symbols in there.
Uh-huh.
The thali is a body, represents our physical body.
Uh-huh.
And the diya in there represents our intellect, buddhi.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And then dhoop or the incense represents our mind. So we are saying, God, all of this beautiful physical and the subtle body you have given it to us, I'll use it to serve you.
Okay.
Okay, that's what it means.
And can I just ask one more question?
Sure.
During Diwali time, is the special thali you make?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't use any special arti or special anything because I do puja every day the same.
The same. Okay.
Because I don't ask anything from Lakshmi.
Okay.
I just, whatever I get from God, the Guru, that's enough for me. So it's everybody is different, but this is what I follow. No special thali, no special mandir, the same mandir which I use every single day to do.
From childhood, I have been taught like you put 7 coins and water and the 7 silver coins. I don't know, from childhood I've learned that. That's how I do it.
Okay, if you want to continue doing it, go ahead, do it. But from a yogic point of view, when we do some special puja on some special days, we are asking for something. God give us more. Ultimately, we got to draw the line somewhere. God has given us enough. Now it's time to give back. If you want to do the puja that way, that's fine, but don't ask for anything. Okay, otherwise we are increasing our vasanas, our desires. We are not cleaning the slate. We are making the slate even busier.
I just saw my mother doing it, so I keep on doing it.
Yeah, but we don't want to keep on doing without any reason. We got to understand why we are doing it. Okay, if there's no deeper significance of growth from some of the rituals, it's okay to let go of those rituals. Okay, we don't want to जैसे कहते हैं ना लकीर के फकीर नहीं बनना. Okay, we don't want to just do the puja and just start getting attached to the rituals. Okay, that's what my suggestion is. Yes, Jyoti.
Thank you.
Urmil Chawla.
Yes, Urmil. Unmute, Urmil.
You have to unmute.
Urmil, unmute. We can't hear you.
What is the significance of the number of beads in the mala of Rudra?
There's no significance. It's long enough. 108 normally people do it because it's like 108 is long enough to connect your mind to God. Okay, that's all. It doesn't matter.
But why they say 108 times Hanuman Chalisa? That's asking a lot.
Yeah, I know. So to me, I think that's why this is just a long enough time, whatever you can do. To me, I think it's easier to say Om, Om, Om 108 times, but if somebody says 108 Hanuman Chalisas, definitely it's a long. So to me, I think the meaning behind all these rituals is that drop down the material mind, connect yourself with the highest. And then when you're connected, you don't even know how many you have done, 108 or 109. Doesn't even matter then. Idea is to connect. Okay. Yes, Jyoti.
Poonam.
Harshji, I
Yes.
have a question about the Shiva. Whenever we go to Shiv temple, and I was raised in Kashmir, so I've gone to the Shankaracharya temple and all those Shiva temples. First of all, what is the significance of offering water on top of the ling? Secondly, they have some kind of a stuff going around where the ling is placed. So you are not, so they call it yoni or something, I don't know what they call it. Anyway, you are not supposed to cross it because you cannot do the bakarma, the whole bakarma. You're supposed to stop at one place and go. And it feels like a shape of a female, female parts. And so they won't let you cross it and you have to come back from there and you're just offering water. That I did not understand. If it was not the linga as we know it in regular terms, then why all that story around it and why the water that they pour over it?
Yeah, stories are created by human beings.
And that's the Shankaracharya, and this is the Shankaracharya temple I'm talking about.
Yeah, but maybe Shankaracharya himself, he did not do it, but later on it got changed. So from the scriptures, nowhere it says that it is like a ling as a sexual organ. No, it is just a symbol.
And why the water?
Pouring the water, we normally pour the water when we do the havan also, we are pouring the water. Pouring the water is like a part of the rituals which we do a lot of times.
Whatever we have,
we pour. Whatever we have, we offer. Pouring really means we are offering. Some people pour milk, some people pour flowers, some people pour water. So whatever you have, you're offering. So pouring really means offering it to God. And the rest of it, whether they have made the female...
yeah, it's very symbolic. It looks like that, and you're not supposed to cross it.
I know sometimes maybe originally they just made a little canal so that water can flow out.
Yeah.
And it got misshaped by somebody else. To me, I don't see any significance because the main meaning behind all this is connection with the God. You are offering whatever you have, you offer. See, just like I do havan, Thursday I do the havan, I offer the ghee and the samagri. Every day I do it with my mind. Or sometimes I do it with the flower petals. It's just like an offering. That little ritual connects you with God. So offering of the water is only that. Okay. So we got to look at the ultimate meaning behind these rituals. So Shivling is just a symbol of Lord Shiva. And who created it? The rishis did. They will not create something which has a sexual connotation. This guy added later on, and people did not try to understand it. We got to understand that, hey, this symbol is giving us, this idol is giving us the ideal. And ideal behind Lord Shiva is very clear. Conquer your ego. Conquer your mind. Rise above the Maya. Even Lord Shiva himself, when we look at his picture, snakes around him, Chand, Ganga, all of that. And what does he do? He just sits in dhyan for thousands and thousands of years. Okay, so we got to just keep our mind towards this. Only then there will be a upliftment.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else?
No.
No? Okay. All right. So today Kamala wanted to sing a bhajan. Is she there, Jyoti?
मैं यहाँ हूँ हर जी.
Okay. Okay. Start it, please.
Okay. अल्लाह तेरो नाम ईश्वर तेरो नाम अल्लाह तेरो नाम ईश्वर तेरो नाम सबको सन्मति दे भगवान अल्लाह तेरो नाम ओ सारे जग के रखवाले ओ सारे जग के रखवाले निर्बल को बल देने वाले निर्बल को बल देने वाले सबको सन्मति दे भगवान अल्लाह तेरो नाम ईश्वर तेरो नाम सबको सन्मति दे भगवान अल्लाह तेरो नाम इस धरती का रूप ना उजड़े इस धरती का रूप ना उजड़े प्यार की ठंडी धूप ना उजड़े प्यार की ठंडी धूप ना उजड़े सबको मिले दाता सबको मिले दाता सुख का दान सबको सन्मति दे भगवान अल्लाह तेरो नाम ईश्वर तेरो नाम सबको सन्मति दे भगवान अल्लाह तेरो नाम. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kamala.